Why do rappers keep dying young? Over the past few years, we lost X, Nipsey, Pop Smoke, Juice WRLD, King Von, and plenty others. So I wanted to take a look and see if there's a reason why these rappers keep dying young. So stick around. What's goody in the hoodie like a boogie? Back in a better life, Bryson Tiller with another video. It's your boy Tresor. Don't chase me, chase your dreams. Now, why are all these rappers dying young? Hip hop is the biggest music genre in the world, and we keep losing people every year, almost every month it feels like. I'm gonna start off by telling you guys about the 27 Club. So the 27 Club is a thing in music where artists usually die before they reach 27. This goes back as far as Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse type days. Now, even though they weren't rappers, this is a music thing, so obviously it's a problem, but today I'm focusing on rappers. Rappers are pretty much dying from two sources: gun violence and drugs. Mac Miller, Lil Peep, Juice WRLD, drugs. King Von, Nipsey, Pop Smoke, X, gun violence. Even on that list includes two of the biggest names in hip hop ever, Biggie and Tupac. Gun violence. For anyone who considers Biggie and Tupac like the two pillars of hip hop, they've known what it feels like to lose an artist. Tupac got killed in Las Vegas on the Strip in 1996 after a fight, which still never magically got solved, which I don't believe, by the way. He talked about death a lot in his songs, and Biggie titled his 1994 album Ready to Die. So the first thing I decided to look into about rappers that have died is them talking about death in their lyrics. So a lot of rappers talk about death in lyrics, even the ones that aren't dead. Smoke Perp posed in a coffin on his mixtape. On his track Brightside, Lil Peep said, "Everyone's telling me life's short, but I wanna die." Juice WRLD said, "We ain't making it past 21. Mac Miller said, "Doing drugs is just a war with boredom, but they sure get to me." In 2016, Nipsey Hussle said, "Play a Stevie Wonder song" as one of the instructions at his funeral for when he dies. Now, those lyrics may seem eerie now, but I don't think they were a death wish when they were being made. It's a common lyrical thing that rappers do, that it's almost like maybe you can survive the worst that can happen to you if you verbalize it, so you can overcome it. A lot of rappers do it, but not all of them. A week before he died, on Instagram, X said, "If I'm gonna die or even be a sacrifice, I want to make sure that my life has made at least 5 million kids happy, or they found some sort of answers or resolve in my life, regardless of the negative around my name, regardless of the bad things people say to me." To say that a week before you die is crazy. Now, a lot of these rappers were a part of the emo rapper Soundcloud Wave that kind of took over in 2010. And if you were around in that time, you know the aesthetic, the face tats with the colored dreads and drugs and sadness. That was basically the vibe. Even if you go back, Snoop said that he feels like he even manifested his murder charge off that song that he made called Murder Was the Case. He feels like maybe if he didn't say that, then that stuff wouldn't have happened to him. I don't know if any of y'all are religious, but it was said that life and death is in the power of the tongue. And I kind of believe that. So even if you're not religious, it's kind of like you get in what you put out. So if you put out negative energy, you're gonna get negative energy. If you say negative things are gonna happen to you. And I kind of believe that, to where I don't even like saying negative things out loud, because I just don't want to put that into the world. So now I'm going to talk about hip hop being mixed with the streets. And I was wondering, why is this just in our culture? Please comment down below, educate me if I'm wrong. I don't ever hear of any white pop artists getting killed, any other type of genre with the consistency of losing artists to violence this way. I know rock stars have overdosed and all that type of stuff, but I'm talking about getting killed. It doesn't happen in anywhere but hip hop. Now, we could go down the line on the reasons that even started with poverty and oppression and racism and stuff like that. But the fact is, from the beginning of hip hop, the streets and hip hop have been connected. A lot of famous rappers have affiliations, whether they're in a gang or their family members are in a gang, or there's some association to the streets with a lot of famous rappers. The fact is, it's hard to escape, and I feel like these record labels even champion it. It's almost like they're looking for the problematic popular rapper that's a gangbanger or someone who has some controversy around their name, and then pushing them, and then when they die, all right, bring in a new one. A lot of the environments and places that these rappers grew up are not sweet. Like, a lot of them are from the ghetto, and just because these rappers evolved and changed their life and forgot about the past doesn't mean that anyone that they had issues with in the past feels the same way. There's dudes in the street that can still want to get you. Also, a lot of rappers don't want to leave the hood behind. They'll be rich, famous, driving Bentleys straight back to the hood where they grew up. And people have mixed thoughts on that. Some people say once you make it out, don't ever go back. Some people say you need to go back so the people from your hood can see that it's possible and you can help them get out. I personally think there's ways around it. Like, you can help the hood, but I don't think I necessarily have to be on the block with everyone, because it's just dangerous. And the fact is, there's haters and just too many bad things that can happen to you. A bunch of rappers have come out and say, yo, the streets don't love you. Do not rep somewhere that we don't own. You need to stop. It doesn't make sense. Young Thug paid Lil Baby to leave the hood and stay in the studio and focus on rap. Jeezy said T.I. is the one who convinced him to get out the streets. Because honestly, a lot of rappers die in their own city. Nipsey died in front of his own store in his own hood. And people are like, yo, no way that can happen in Nipsey. Like, Nipsey is like a god down here. It still happened. X died in his hometown outside of a car dealership. Said he got followed the whole day. His lawyer came out and said that X felt like he was concerned that someone was going to kidnap him or kill him. But the fact of the matter is, street politics is something that a lot of people don't understand and a lot of people need to stay out of. Biggie died in LA, Tupac died in Vegas at 25, and they clearly still had connections to the streets, especially back then in hip hop. The more gangster you were was kind of the better for your image. Now imagine if there was social media back when Tupac and Biggie died and a bunch of people commenting on who they thought killed them and why they got killed and what they were involved in. That would be crazy. But honestly, the way these internet detectives are set up, they might have found out who killed them. Cause when King Von got killed, police didn't even need to investigate. Twitter found out the killer in like 2 hours. Open and close case the same day. Dude was even wearing the same clothes. Allegedly, Pop Smoke's killers found his address from something he posted online when he posted something that he got in the mail and it said his address on it. So in that case, social media did not help. That day a few months ago when Fabio's cars got shot up in Atlanta, one of the dudes he was with all day was basically documenting their every move. So in that case, it didn't help. Good thing Fabio never died, but still, it could have been way worse. A lot of artists, in an attempt to give their fans a closer look into their life, will sometimes overshare, and you can see how that could come back to be negative. So now I'm going to talk about drugs in rap. Juice WRLD died after a drug-induced seizure. Mac Miller died from an overdose. So did Lil Peep and Minnesota rapper Lexi. Now when you think of weed in pop culture, you usually think Wiz Khalifa and before him, Snoop. Rappers in the past would often talk about selling drugs. The themes in the songs would rarely involve anything of them taking the actual drugs that they were selling. It was never anything really more than weed and alcohol. And this is where the disconnect came between the older generation of rappers and the new generation of rappers. Because the new generation of rappers is saying, why are you guys acting like you guys didn't talk about drugs in your music? And the old generation of rappers is saying, yeah, we used to talk about drugs, but we would be selling drugs. We wouldn't be the addicts. It's not cool to be the addicts. It was cool to be the drug dealers. Because now you guys are killing yourselves. Lean was made popular in the South, in Texas. DJ Screw, the whole chopped and screwed wave. And he also died in his 20s. And the debate has gone on for years if music influences people to do drugs or even just make bad decisions in general. Juice WRLD once said that Future is the reason that he started popping pills and drinking lean, even though Future said in 2018 that he doesn't even do that anymore. Lil Peep posted himself taking 2 Xannies the day he died on Instagram. Lil Peep, Mac Miller, and Juice WRLD all listed common influences like Gucci Mane and Juicy J, both being tied to the beginning of the whole Xanny wave. Rappers also then started to hop on the whole Molly and prescription drug wave with Oxy and Xannies and Perks. Lil Pump posted a Xanny-shaped cake to celebrate him getting 1 million followers on Instagram. And this is where Russ came in, and he openly started criticizing these people, saying, yo, why are you guys trying to make doing drugs and becoming junkies cool? And the internet killed him for it. Now I understand what he was saying. Maybe the way he said it, some people took it too abrasively, but I completely agree with him. It's like it became cool to pop pills, and that's not cool. But now I can say that the drug aesthetic has kind of started to die down. Mozzie urged his followers to stop drinking lean. Travis and Danny Brown and a lot of people have talked about their drug problems and them trying to stop as well. But I can see that. Come on. Future had a song called Mask Off where the chorus was literally Percocet, Molly Percocet. And the song was a bop. So of course, influential people maybe, possibly might be like, you know what? I want to do this because Future's talking about this, so I want to be like Future, so I'm going to take Molly's and Percocets. Also, one problem is how these rappers' careers blow up so quickly. While rappers from before may even have to spend years in artist development and may even get signed and not come out for a few years because they're not ready, rappers today can have overnight success. You could post a song right now and by tomorrow it can have 1 million views if the right thing or the right person saw it. Pop Smoke said he was rapping for a year before Welcome to the Party came out. There's a bunch of rappers that said they just started rapping and then blew up. Fetty Wap said Trap Queen was like his 4th song or something. In an industry that's ruthlessly dedicated to finding new talent, the mindfulness and the care for these artists is almost non-existent. Rappers have been telling you that forever, that these labels don't care about you. They care about making money. Braden Morgan was Lil Peep's roommate for 3 years. He said he believes that Lil Peep abused drugs because of the pressures of touring, which he hated, and the yes men and the hangers off and the clout chasers around him would stay offering him stuff, and he was a really nice guy and he didn't like telling people no. So if someone asked him to do a drug with them, he would just do it just because he didn't want to say no. It's definitely not a fairy tale lifestyle, but the business should do more to protect these rappers. And I completely agree that the rap game is not like any other industry. There's literally bullets flying around. That's just how our culture is in general. And I've been thinking like, yo, we shouldn't have to live like this. Like, I shouldn't be afraid that if I go to a party, people are gonna start shooting, because a lot of other people don't have to deal with this at all. Still, no matter how much rap music teaches us about how to grieve, it never makes it easier when we lose an artist that we care about. Instead, every time a new rapper dies, it's like, damn, again? Which is kind of a good thing, because we're not getting numb to people's death. And I think that when it gets to that, when we don't even start caring anymore that people die, that's when things are gonna get scary. As for a solution to this issue, I don't know. There's a million things that it could be. Comment down below what you think could help. And that's it for this video. Stay safe, stay faithful. I'm out.